Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on the contents in communicative language teaching approach. I hope and expect by the end of this session, you would have some understanding of the nature of the contents that are used in CLT. Well, my dear students, when it comes to a product-oriented syllabus design, it has just as their language-centered counterparts did before them, but with one more distinction, or with one important distinction. And what is that distinction? Whereas the language-centered pedagogists sought to select and to sequence and to put in an order the grammatical items, the learner-centered pedagogists sought to select and sequence grammatical as well as notional or functional categories of language. If I repeat it in simple words, I would say the language-centered pedagogists, those who focused on the teaching of language before this communication approach, their focus was on sequencing various structures. This structure of language is to be taught, followed by this structure, and then this structure. On the other hand, communicative language teaching or the learner-centered teaching, it focused on the grammatical units to be taught in a particular sequence, plus the notional or the functional categories of language, focusing on teaching, for example, the category of requests, teaching the category of commands, teaching the category of orders, teaching the category of apologies, for example, etc. So, the focus is on the communicative needs of the learners so that they can perform all of these functions in their real life effectively. Now, what is the consequence? The consequence is that it is expected to provide a framework for identifying, classifying, and organizing language features that are needed by the learners for their specific communicative purposes in the real specific communicative contexts in which they live or in which they are they are expected to use that language. Mumby's 1978 book titled Communicative Syllabus Design contains an elaborate taxonomy of the specifications of communicative functions, of discourse features, and of textual operations, along with both kind of planning, that is the micro-level planning as well as the macro-level planning. And Mumby has given how different kinds of plans can be made according to the needs of the learners. Any textbook writer or any language teacher can easily draw from such inventories and from such taxonomies to design a syllabus that addresses the specific needs or the wants of a given group of learners. Overall, the contents of CLT, I would say, they are based on the simple idea that the functional aspect of language and the notional aspects of language need to be categorized in the contents, and they need to be a part of the contents or the syllabus that is taught. Finocchiaro and Brumfitt, 1983, in their well-known book, The Functional Notional Approach from Theory to Practice, they have also provided some guidelines for the teachers, and the teachers of L2 who aim to use CLT, they can always avail this opportunity and they can use this book.